morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Chuck Mayer. I'm coming to you live from Fishy Business with the weekly update. Welcome to Fishy Business. There are a few things to go over, a contest that's in the works, and I want to show you a little bit about what came in this week. So if you'll come with me, there's new decorations that came in that have actually been coming in all the last 2 weeks, and especially cool in time for Halloween. Lots of cool and different little skulls, things like that. If maybe your tank needs a new decorations, we've got some really cool resin decorations Scott has gotten in. A lot of cool little houses, fantastic ships, just all kinds of coral decorations. A lot of cool new decorations have come in. So maybe it's time to spruce up the tank, whether it be plants, whether it be resin creations. Maybe it's time for a little bit of a fall upgrade. The Spotlight product of the week, I told you we were going to start talking a little bit about different products. And while this isn't as much of a product as it is a food, frozen foods are ever important to all your fish. This is Cyclops. Now, Cyclops is a small copepod that's found in freshwater and saltwater. It is the basis feeding of all fish, especially in their small forms. The reason it's called Cyclops is because it has one eye. It's a tiny little copepod, but it's fantastic for feeding all of your fish. We just got this in this week. It'll work in saltwater, it'll work in freshwater, and it'll give a little dietary supplement, as it is a water flea, to almost any small fish that you have. The really cool thing about this product is the first 50 customers that come in on Saturday get one for free. So you don't even have to buy it. You do have to come by, however. So hopefully if you're in town, you'll stop by Fishy Business this Saturday. It is Saturday only that we're doing that, but you get a free Cyclops. If that weren't enough, let's talk about the video that just got posted a couple of days ago. Okay, so if you paid attention to the video that we posted a day or two ago, you know that Fishy Business in the month of September is giving away a 75-gallon tank. Either a regular undrilled or a drilled, whichever suits your fancy if you happen to be the winner. All you have to do is come in, show us that you subscribe to our YouTube channel at Fishy Business SC, and show us that you subscribe to Facebook, and you get an entry and ticket. The one thing that I didn't tell you in that video is something kind of cool. I alluded to it, but we are doing giveaways in October, November, and a big giveaway in December for Christmas. The thing that's going to happen is if you don't win in September and you don't win in October, all of those tickets are going into the next batch. So you literally will have 4 opportunities to win something if you get in here and get a ticket and put it in. Now, there's no cost for the ticket, of course, and all you have to do, you can enter as many times as you come in the store. It's 1 per visit. So you can do this as much as you want between now and December. But the giveaway in September is this 75-gallon tank. So I hope everybody has great luck with trying to win it. If you need it, it would make a good Christmas present if you don't even have a fish tank. So that's something to consider. Now let's go look at the fish. Ugh. Come with me. So it's early morning in the store. All the lights haven't come on, but all the lights have come on the tanks that I'm going to focus on. Rummy nose tetras, again, came in really nice this week. These are great for planted aquariums, and if you have a community type freshwater tank, I urge you to consider doing live plants. All the staff here is well versed when it comes to live plants and designed for a really cool tropical freshwater aquarium. And so many customers come in every week and they show us pictures of their tanks. A lot of people don't put a lot into actually making the tank itself, the environment, really cool and artsy. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. And that's one thing that Fishy Business can really help you with, because all of our staff are really good at that sort of thing. So again, getting back to what I said with the decorations, but more so with even live things and naturalistic setups, if you have any questions about your tank, take some pictures of it, bring it to us. Let us offer you some suggestions, even things that maybe you don't even need to buy, but just some structural things. Maybe it's time to kind of spruce up that tank. It's never been a better time here because Kevin's got us so many live plants so many cool fish, and Scott's got us so many cool decorations, we can kind of take the picture that you show us and kind of do a mock design here in the store and help you to make your tank look even more refreshed and more rejuvenated, I guess. So anyway, I got in this guy if he'll show up, and I don't know if he will. He was out just a little while ago. It's a PIKE cichlid. See if I can get to him. Yeah, right here. PIKE cichlids are really cool. They're also very mean for the most part, but they will almost stay in a stoic position in an aquarium to where they almost look like a leaf or a piece of wood floating in mid-water. One of these came in, it's very, very cool. It's called a giant PIKE cichlid, so I would allude to the fact it probably gets very large, but really, really, really cool fish. Okay, so one fish we get asked about a lot is LOACH, the DOJO LOACH. Kevin got a bunch of them in this week, and you can kind of see it's kind of like a cross between an eel and a fish, but very, very cool. Can live in groups. No problem living in a community tank. It actually gets some size to it, but the small fish, no problem. They don't mess with anything. They're great for bottom feeding, like your Corydoras catfish and other types of bottom dwelling fish, but these are really cool. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's a statement maker, but it is something very different to have in there, and it's very cool. It'll attract a lot of attention to that part of the aquarium. Right here, we got black phantom tetras. I love black phantom tetras. In and of themselves, they're not so impressive, but you get a school of them moving through the tank, and they absolutely, if you get 3 or more, will school together. They make a very impressive display because of how their fins are. They get really high top fins on their dorsal, and really, really beautiful. You can kind of see them following my finger around right there. I got some really cool Congo tetras in that they're very small. Usually when we get Congo tetras, they're big, but these small Congo tetras are already developing the real elaborate finnage that they get, and that's really what makes them incredibly pretty fish. They are a little bit more of an aggressive type of tetra, but beautiful nonetheless. Something I haven't had in a little while are iridescent sharks, and they are right here. This fish comes from Southeast Asia. They're actually grown as a food source there. It's an omnivore. It'll eat a little bit of anything, so you have to consider the tank mate and the size. At this size, I wouldn't say they're out and out aggressive, but they're opportunist. So they'll take advantage of green foods, they'll take advantage of small live foods. Iridescent sharks get big, so if you want a shark-like looking fish in there, they're not a shark, of course, they're a catfish. But they're really, really cool to have. They're a mid to open water type fish. They will school. So if you have a fairly large tank, a school of these looks really, really cool. Let's see, what else did I get in really cool? A lot of big giant danios. If you want a busy fish, if you want a lot of activity to draw attention to your aquarium, these giant danios, which are not so giant right now, but we'll get there, are a very busy fish. They're a mid-water to upper fish, and they school and move constantly. They never stop. Those are some of the things. Oh, there's a few angelfish I want to show you, only because they're so cool. It's rare for us to get incredibly black angelfish, and true blacks are really rare, at least from what I see coming in and out of the store. We got some phenomenal black marble angels that, with the exception of one of them, are mostly black. They're really pretty. They've got some great size to them. We also got some veil angels, which are already showing really pretty veils. And we got these very large blue smoke angels and the koi angels. These are really cool too, because getting some large size angelfish like that are safe, that we know are healthy, we don't have so often. So Kevin's got 3 tanks with a few of them. We don't have a lot of them, but if you're looking for some large showy fish to go in a nice community tank, these angels might be perfect for you. One other thing I want to mention is this KAMFA Warrior flower horn. Obviously he hasn't developed the flower horn or the big head yet, but as a small fish, he is really cool. He is already showing a lot of red in his body and looks phenomenal. So some freshwater highlights for this week. Let's go look at saltwater. Okay, so on to some saltwater selections for the week. Let's see what Gracie got in. One thing she got in is a Harlequin tusk. This is a very popular, beautiful Australian fish. If there are any Clemson fans, there's no more Clemson fish than that Harlequin tusk right there. With the orange and white, that would be your fish if you want to make a statement maker in a saltwater tank. Harlequin tusks are called that because they develop blue teeth that jut out of their mouth. This is a very large wrasse and more of a domineering type fish. They are pretty compatible when they're young with most fish in a tank. I would say that you obviously wouldn't keep them with small invertebrates, but for the most part, this is a very showy, long-lived fish. We keep them in service accounts. I know some that have been for years and years in some of my customers' aquariums. A Harlequin tusk is a really cool fish. Not so cheap, but very hardy. Right here, the Melanurus wrasse that came in, beautiful. We got a small dogface puffer in this week. Lots of really cool anthias. This dusky wrasse, when you get up on it, predominantly green fish with really, really beautiful blue circle highlights on it. And this banner wrasse, I haven't seen a banner wrasse in probably 10 years. Maybe just because we haven't ordered one, but Gracie's getting in a really cool, she's adding a few things every week that either we haven't had before or we haven't had in a very long time. Hiding behind here is an emperor angel, and I got a NAVARCHUS angel in as well. So that's on this side. Rolling right around, I got a gorgeous blonde Naso tang. The blonde at the top of the fin that runs down the dorsal is extra orange. It is very, very pretty this week. I got in a Vlaminghi tang as well. Now, a Vlaminghi tang, incredibly beautiful fish, typically associated with the Red Sea. It's an all gray, round-bodied unicorn type tang that has blue spots all over it. Can't see it really well. Well, you might because we've got 4K this week. But this particular fish, very compatible in almost every situation. It's an open water fish, very hardy, very long-lived, and this is the perfect size. One larger dogface right here. The pudding wife, really nice Niger trigger. I got in a couple Koran angels. I have probably the smallest NAVARCHUS I have ever had, ever. If that's a NAVARCHUS, it is a NAVARCHUS. It is, most NAVARCHUS angels when they come in with already having developed their adult colors. And most of the times, even a small one comes in about like that, and it'll already have its adult colors. This is a rarity. This is such a young fish. It doesn't even have its adult colors yet. And I guess I'm so caught off guard by it because I haven't seen one like this. It's right here, and it is a gorgeous, gorgeous fish. It is probably my personal favorite angelfish, not only because of its uniqueness and its beauty, but because it's probably, of the larger bodied angelfish, the most reef safe angelfish. I am not saying that it's reef safe, but it is predominantly, it feeds on very few corals. So if you're one of those open reef keepers that you have a lot of corals, but you don't have to have every single type of coral, a NAVARCHUS works really, really well in a lot of different environments. I kept one in my personal reef tank for 5 years. This is a phenomenal fish, and you never see them with their juvenile colors. Right here, the Emperor Angel I showed you on the other side. This is the juvenile version with the juvenile colors. And beautiful porcupine puffer right here that came in. And we also, because we're filming in the morning and not at night like we typically do, I want to show you some of the colors of the reef as the lights are coming on in the morning. So take a look at this. You can see with all the blue lights coming on just how the corals look, how extremely beautiful they are in the early morning time, and how how they just put off sensational colors. Over here is another prime example. This with SPS and Acropora, but you can see how some of the tanks look. Guy's got this decorated really, really well. You can see the skull in the back with the Acropora rolling off the top of him. Great little Halloween prop if you need to decorate your aquarium, but this is really cool too. Lots of Gorgonians this week and neon gobies. I think I mentioned a couple of weeks ago about the neon gobies, but these are great for small tanks. If you have little nano tanks and you want to keep a lot of different fish in there, knowing that you can't keep a lot of fish in there, going with small fish that aren't going to get very large, this is a great fish. They're hardy. They put off great color for their size and activity. They're not mean like damsels. So this with a mandarin dragonet, a little blenny, a little goby, a clownfish, and suddenly you got 5 or 6 small fish in a very small tank. So a great nano fish that is. Lots of cool starfish, lots of shrimp are back in stock. And and some really, really cool blue reef chromis. I had asked Gracie a couple weeks ago to start diversifying some of the damsels that we have, even though they're not my favorite fish, just so we could have different types of damsels for people that don't want to spend a lot of money on saltwater fish, but want to have a lot of saltwater fish and activity in their tanks. These blue chromis are gorgeous. They have black tails on the caudal fin and on the pectoral, and their eye, while not black, looks that way on a really pretty chromide blue body. So those are some really cool fish, and that's about it for right now. This is just the weekly update. It's a few things just to point out. Get in here Saturday and get you some free frozen food. It'll be great for your fish. Come in as much as you want to. You don't have to spend anything to enter for the 75 giveaway at the end of the month. And there are going to be some amazing things coming along. Next week, we're going to have a couple new types of videos that will be coming multiple times during the week. And we'll have some more Spotlight products and some more Spotlight guests. So have a great week. This is Chuck Mayer, Fishy Business.